Hey everyone, my name is TheSecondFlock, and we have something special here for you today. Now, I have tried to get into the recording of this a couple of times. Just had some stuff to deal with in the household, and now everyone's kind of asleep, so I'm going to be a little quieter here. Feel free to throw up the volume this time. Not sure I can mix it myself, but I found out TVBoy's secret, first of all. I'm pretty sure he records all of these videos in OBS. I've been using a screen recorder that captures my mic, and then I have to throw in these effects in editing, which takes a while. So this is actually my second video recording since I became a steering committee member earlier this year. I talk about that in the other video. The other video was done in the other way of capturing these logs, so that is going to come out later than this because it has not gone through the editor. But I think with OBS, you can set up everything beforehand, and you don't have to edit. I still have my background going. I can add to this if I need to. But yeah, this is the secret sauce right here. And I'm going to learn more about OBS over time. I've been using it for live streaming. It's great. But today, we're going to get to something special here. A user of a community member from IA has come out of the woodwork and said, hey guys, I made an expansion for the Clone Wars. So you've got clone troopers, you've got Jedi, you've got Padme, you've got, Anakin Skywalker, you've got, old Obi-Wan from when he was younger, rather. Like 100 new cards, basically. Just all thrown into the game at once. And he's not, his name's Jayjaxx. He's not officially, and he's not affiliated with IACP in an official capacity in any way. But he has gone through and, done testing with the IA community and the IACP community even to balance these cards against the IACP power level. He's also running a tournament to try and further balance his game. So we're actually looking at one of the games from the first round here, and one of the cool things is he's added 2 entire new factions to the game. So that is the Republic and the CIS, or the Confederacy of Independent Systems, basically the Separatists. And there is a crazy card that I'm waiting to see. They have B1 battle droids. Hopefully we see that at some point. And they get 6 units per card, right? And so there's some insane stuff in this. But Jayjaxx has been working to balance and iterate on this expansion, so we can call it good, call it full. And he's balanced to the level of IACP. So it's actually IACP compatible, and he's actually been working with the committee to find out things that are kind of like, interact with IACP cards, and he'll even change things to account for things that are in IACP only. So that's really cool of him. Like one example is somewhere on this map we have a Yoda figure, right? So this is a Yoda, Master Yoda, from the Clone Wars era. And there's actually a skirmish upgrade card, if I can find it. Confederate, neutral. There's a skirmish upgrade card called Of Many Talents. And it basically says, like, hey, Master Yoda equals Yoda, basically. And they can use each other's command cards, because they should be able to, even though they both have their own card. You can use either one. So it's kind of like and Yoda only exists in IACP or this faction. So Of Many Talents is kind of bridging that gap and saying, hey, the Yoda in the game we all play normally can use each other's command cards if you're playing with this expansion. But enough on this. We're going to see a bunch of games. You can head over to the IA Command channel to see more of these games come out. In fact, I think my first round match should be up over there at some point, and this is TVBoy's first round, so IA Command's first round match. It looks like he's over in the blue deployment zone, and he is playing a Republic list, and we have Palintiri, not a big skirmish player as much as I've seen, but he's over on the red side of things. So I think if we're looking at the windows here, I think I have them mixed up, first time groups in OBS, I guess, but looks like the cards for the blue side are over on the left side, or over on the right side on the bottom of the screen, or rather the bottom half. It doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the lists. So we have TVBoy, who is running a lot of troopers. So he's got assault troopers, he's got suppressive fire on them. Okay, so the assault troopers are these guys Let's see if we can pull up their card. So they basically have 4 speed, only a green die to attack, but they have these double actions to launch huge missiles. One of the important things to note is... Actually, I don't know if he did that. Looks like he's running 2 sets of assault troopers and 2 sets of regular assault troopers. And again, they basically have these little attacks, but they have these big attacks with double actions that they can use to fire off huge for a 3-point figure damage. He's also bringing along, it looks like, 2 sets of regular assault troopers. They basically do the same thing, but their double action attacks are a little less impactful, right? But still pretty strong, especially for a 2-point figure. He's running them with, it looks like, 4 commando troopers, which are 1-point sergeants, 1-point leaders. And you can note that they say that they're squad members, and just like the assault troopers are also called squad members. So there is a command card, or there's a deployment card that is basically a generic clone troop, and normally you can basically pay an extra point to add in a squad member to that troop, which is a pretty cool, unique concept. Makes the 3 figure groups modular. But the clone sergeant should be running around and giving a lot of people movement points and power tokens. And then we also see a couple of... Let's see, it's a Republic, it's a Rebel. Oh no, this is a neutral. This is a neutral IACP skirmish upgrade we have on the large elite assault troopers. This is suppressive fire. So this is when one of the units in this group makes an attack, they can give movement points to another friendly trooper, which is going to help them set up those double action large attacks. And it also weakens the opponent. Looks like they're playing on Waska Hunting Grounds, map B, and I think I've seen a lot of this map lately, actually. So basically, there are certain tiles on the map that are connected, even though there are walls. I think they're around right here, over here, up here somewhere. But basically, the first mission rule is that, and this is for both A and B on this map, those walls are basically invisible. They don't matter. They're not real walls, essentially. Figures in this map do not have to spend extra movement points to go into the water. Instead, they have to suffer a strain the first time they do it each round. So, unless they're mobile. So if you have efficient travel, or if you're just a regular moving figure, if you go in the water, you have to take a strain, which is pretty steep cost, but at least you can move normally. And at the end of each round, there are 3 crates throughout the map. We have one in the bottom left, one in the middle of the water, one on the right side near the top. They're worth 4 VPs each. And Noah's list just seems to be an entire squad of, again, the sergeant troops and the assault troops. And he is running a couple other skirmish upgrades, one called a Choreographed War and another called Born Soldiers. Let's see. So Choreographed War is pretty cool. Basically, he can tap it to get a free movement point, which sounds also vitally important for his strategy with the assault troopers as his only attacking figures. And once it's exhausted, an opponent can actually unexhaust the card to gain a free movement point. And I think the idea here is that for TVBoy, the movement points are much more valuable. So he doesn't mind giving his opponent a few extra points. And then Born Soldiers is the other skirmish upgrade he brought. It's a 0-point skirmish upgrade that is basically saying, hey, it gives all of your troopers a few extra accuracy. And I think this is just a patch in because a lot of the troopers in this set don't tend to have enough accuracy to hit at decent ranges as compared to normal IA gameplay. So with that, we can look at Palintiri's list. It looks like he's running a lot of Force users. So he's got Obi-Wan, who is a defensive master for 12 points, but he's a little underwhelming for damage. He has a way to deflect for 2 damage when he's attacked or someone near him is attacked. He kind of have Luke Skywalker's deflect, but it does 2 damage. And he can add +1 block to himself and figures within 2 spaces of him. Padme is the go-to support figure for the Republic. So figures within 3 spaces may use her surge abilities, and she's got some really good ones. Recover 2, +2 damage, gain 1 power token, evade, or stun. And note that if you have a surge for +2, having Padme close by means that if you get 2 surges, you can search for +2 twice and +4. So that's very useful. What is this guy? We have a set of jetpack troopers. Okay, and they are able to help each other get through difficult terrain, basically give each other mobile, which might help on this map. We have a trooper squad. Okay, I'm seeing 2 trooper squads, so I think this is the guy we were talking about. There's 3 of them for 5, and you can basically pay 1 extra point to bring in a single squad member figure. And it looks like they brought in a single assault trooper. Right, so looking over at Palintiri's list, looks like there's a 5-point trooper squad, and they only bring in 1 assault trooper, but it brings the cost of the trooper squad up to 6. Alright, so he's spending 6 on that. He has Ahsoka Tano, so he's got a good mix of troopers and Jedi. And Ahsoka is Padawan Learner is her unique ability. She still has twin sabers to reroll the dice like she does in proper IA. She is mobile for some reason. I think just to replace the Force Leap, she's very mobile. Jumps around a lot. I think a lot of his Jedi have mobile. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's just kind of what it is. But basically, once each round, she can pick an activation, and whatever the Jedi does that's next to her or close by, she can have another... She can gain kind of different, smaller effects based on what that Jedi does. So if it moves, she can move twice. If it attacks, she can get focused. And if they do a special action, she can recover too. Alright, but without further ado, let me just make sure we're still recording. We are. Alright, let's get started. So I am at the point where they are all set up. We're seeing the first move. Looks like Delta's moving up to the door and opening it. And this is probably one of Noah's trooper squads here. Delta also moving. Okay, so there's 2 in the Delta group. Yep, that looks like one of his regular assault trooper groups moving too. And he's going to suffer a strain as a damage to move into the water. And it looks like he's looking at what his Clone Sergeant does. And seeing here Clone Sergeant A going next, I'm going to guess that Palintiri passed here. Palintiri is running 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6 activations. Noah here running, or TVBoy running 10 activations. So Palintiri might just be passing. So it looks like A moves up, and B is somehow jutted forward. So we're going to look at the Sergeant's order, must be the special action. Either each friendly figure in this group, right, which is just the Clone Sergeant, or 1 friendly figure within 2 spaces, so he must have picked Sigma. Gains 2 movement points. So Sigma moved down twice. Great. And then the Clone Sergeant going to move down a little bit. That looks like we have a couple of tapped Clone Sergeants. And he's going to move... B is going to move Delta up a little bit. He's going to take... He's deciding where to go. Yeah, okay, he's not moving. Sigma going to move up. Interesting. We didn't see a strain happen. Is Sigma... perchance a mobile figure? He's not mobile, so I don't know why he didn't take any... Oh, he did. He took a damage for strain. We just didn't see it. Alright. The other Sigma moving up. Gonna take a strain, so he wants to control that cache. It looks like Noah tapping some of his cards. I thought he had activated Delta already. Not sure why Delta isn't tapped. Oh, you know what? He might have 11 activations. And, like... Let me see if OBS is even catching this. Let me see if you're... Ooh. It's fine. It's fine. First time using some of this tech. Yeah, if you see in the bottom right of the player 1 or player 2 panel... next to some of those assault troopers, he actually has an 11th activation. So let me see if I can squeeze it out. Right. Oh, whoa. He's got a lot of activations. And he brought heavy fire? How does he have enough points for this? 16, 17, 19, 4, 12, 16. That's 24. 39, 4. Yeah. This Mad Lad has brought 6 attacking groups, 4 support groups. So yeah, he's got 10 activations, but it's it goes off the screen, the number of cards he brought. So I'm not quite sure the best way to go about, you know, managing those windows, but we're gonna pull this in a little bit so we don't veer too far into the map with that OBS window. All right, first time learning. Yeah, that looks fine enough. Ah, Noah, all of your activations, they're crazy. You got way too many, but okay. Master Yoda being put onto the map, so let's just throw his card up here. Must be Palintiri probably looking at him. Yep, activating. Okay. And we are going to see Ahsoka's card as well. So it looks like Ahsoka using Padawan Learner. I think Palintiri is trying to figure out how to put on a positive condition. So Ahsoka's getting a power token and a focus. I wonder if that's something Yoda is doing for her. Let's see. Wise Counsel. Choose a friendly figure within 3 spaces. It gains 2 of the following. Recover 2, become focused, gain 1 power token, or discard a harmful condition. And then, is Ahsoka going? How is she moving? Alright, how is Ahsoka moving across the field? Maybe I'm missing something. So we have Yoda activate, right? After you resolve an attack, before an attack is declared, you can perform multiple attacks. Oh, it is important to note that this game was played on round 1, and I think Master Yoda was actually updated for round 2, or for week 2 of the tournament. I'm playing with the version of the mod for round 2, and I believe Yoda was changed. So he might have some effect that just let Ahsoka move 2 spaces that he may no longer have, because he definitely... I don't think he had Assault before. So he had a few things taken away and then was just given Assault. Which I'm not sure I agree with, but, you know, okay. It is what it is. I think we saw Ahsoka move another space, but we have Obi-Wan moving up, opening the door. Oh, he's ready for a fight. And then Noah going ahead, using Choreographed War, having... Did Gamma just move up? I thought we saw Sigma activate. Which is down below. Okay, they activated a while ago. So Gamma is, if I can read this correctly, Sigma, Gamma. Well, okay. So we definitely have an attack happening, right? And it looks like Gamma used Choreographed War to get a free movement point, and is a regular assault trooper who's going to use concentrated fire, which will give him an extra red dice on this attack, and he's most likely either double actioning for a destroyer missile or a frag missile. Okay, it looks like Clone Sergeant A is using it. Yep, he's going to stun himself. Oh, and we have double red. Alright, so yeah, concentrated fire, that should be red, red, blue, blue. So this is an elite making the attack. Noah's elites are Sigma and Omega. An adjacent figure in your group may spend 2 minutes. Wait, what? Alright. I'm not sure if Omega's going or Sigma's going, or how they have 4 dice. Maybe this is from a different version, the last version of the mod. The Assault Troopers, maybe they had an extra blue die on these attacks, right? And then maybe that got nerfed. But we're rolling red, red, blue, blue. Okay. So Obi-Wan gets his Sarasu Learner. So he has 2 defense die, and he should be adding a +1. But Noah playing Overwhelming Impact to add a damage and a surge for each defense die rolled, right? And this is a really big card for heavy weapons. Oh, man, that's big, yeah. Palintiri probably shouldn't have opened the door. Because 2 damage, 2 surge being added because Obi-Wan has 2 defense die. It also removes all all modifiers that were not on the defense die to begin with. So Obi-Wan +1 from Suresu, not going to take effect. But Obi-Wan here, we can pull up his card. So Ardent Protector, this gives a +1 to all of his friends within 2 spaces. It also gives himself a +1. And the defender can reroll a defense die. So we see that defense die reroll, trying to go for a dodge. Not going to happen. So I believe we're getting a 6. This hits range for sure. But it looks like Gamma doing 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 damage to Obi-Wan? Which, okay. Oh, and Heavy Fire. So it looks like Delta... Okay, so Delta must be the attacker as a... Okay, yeah, looking at the windows, looking at the player 3 window, or the top window, or the bottom window, rather, it looks like the Assault Troopers in the mini windows you can see did actually have 2 blue die on the attack, 2 blue and a red. Right now they only have 1 red, 1 blue. So that was probably a result of this game from this very attack, that a regular 2-point figure is making a 3-die attack that did 10 damage to the tankiest guy in this game, in this expansion. So it looks like Heavy Fire being played to do an extra damage to the target and 1 figure next to it. If anyone needs to take a look, Heavy Fire... This is just an IA card from FFG. Basically, it puts a bunch of negative conditions on a heavy weapon of your choice that attacks. But after the attack, you do 1 damage to any number of figures within 2 spaces of the target, including the target. So you can do an extra damage to them, equal to the number of dice in your attack. So, oh, for each die in the printed attack pool. Okay, so it is good to note that the weird thing about these Assault Troopers is that they've always, they've always had a printed attack pool of just green, right? So heavy fire, heavy weapon, heavy fire only does 1 die. So it only does 1 damage to 1 figure. But 1 to Obi-Wan should be enough for a 2-point figure to get stunned, right? I would stun the 2-point figure to do a damage to this Obi-Wan. So even through, again, the reroll and everything else happening, we're about to see this Obi-Wan take about half of his health in damage. So yeah, we're doing 10, 11, 12. I see 1 pip going to Yoda. That probably shouldn't happen because Heavy Fire is based on the printed attack pool. And I believe that the figure's printed attack pool, so that would go to the base attack pool. That should just be the green. So Yoda should not have taken damage there. We'll see if that matters. And then Delta's somehow moving back while stunned. I'm not sure I get that, but okay. And then the second Gamma looks like he's moving up 1. Did we see Suppressive Fire? We did not. He's taking 2 damage. Okay. Starting to lose track of what's going on. Maybe that was a Clone Sergeant. That looks like it was a Clone Sergeant going up and activating. And then the second Gamma going up to the cache. Yeah, I'm not... Okay, I see 3 tapped Clone Sergeants, so I'm guessing that they... Let's see. Choose up to 1 friendly figure in the group and 1 within 2 spaces to give a power token or movement points. Right, so I think the Gamma did wind up staying right where you did the attack. And then these guys kind of activated to give some movement points out. And then the second half of Gamma ran over here. So you just had a 4-point group with 2 command cards, granted. Run up and do 12 damage to the most defensive 12-point figure in this expansion. With 2 command cards and a double action. So I can see exactly why Noah ran this list. So what do we have? Looks like... Okay, Heavy Fire tapping, all the cards just being kind of put away. Palintiri deciding to move up with his Clone Trooper squad. Alright, he's going to move up and defend Obi-Wan, who is now exposed. And... yeah, so he's moving that guy up. Okay, Noah going again, activating C. Looks like he's going to go and get next to the door without opening it. I want to give props to Palintiri. I don't think he plays skirmish very often, but he's an avid campaign player. So props to him for coming out here and trying out a bunch of cards and, you know, just playing the game. I think we played a match once on on Tabletop Sim. He was willing to try it. He loathed the idea of Vassal, but he started to get used to it. So he's a good player. Doesn't have a lot of skirmish experience, so I'm props to him for coming out and trying this out. I'm going to see if his Jedi and clones can make a comeback here. Padme trying to position herself as a great support unit for the Republic. Let's see, what is she trying to get an attack somehow? There's someone else activating. Gamma already went. I don't see a command card. Okay, we have dice. Okay, it looks like Padme might be attacking Gamma, that Gamma from way down where she is. We see a yellow die and a black die and a blue die. Is this Padme? That is her attack pool. She doesn't have any built-in innate accuracy, and she doesn't search for it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... I mean, her max range is like 7, which doesn't seem like it would even hit. So I'm not sure if there was an attempt here to do something. Looks like she did it to search for an evade token. Okay, that makes sense, because you get the evade token even if you don't hit or deal damage. Alright, so something good from this. Okay, so Omega going, and he's going to make an attack from Noah's side. Let me just switch windows over here, because I'm losing track of... There's too many similar activations. I'm starting to lose track of who activates what when. Let's just move that around a little bit. For my own sanity. That should do it. Cool. Okay, looks like Omega moved up 1, and he was probably able to do so. Yep, they get moving to firing position at the start of their turn. The elites can move 1 point. Right, so he's going to do like his destroyer missile. Oops. Vassal is always a pain to deal with, but that's okay. In some ways. So yeah, 1 red die, 2 blue. This is the elite Omega here, going to make it's either a destroyer missile or a frag missile attack, which again we saw from the regulars what they were, and it looks like they've already been updated, so that's fine. But the elites here, they should get a +1 to... Oh, do they not have a +1 in this patch? Okay, so that might have changed. Either destroyer missile or frag missile here. And who's taking damage? Alright, it's the clone up top. So yeah, it looks like we have 3, 4, 5, and a surge for +2, 7 coming in. Obi-Wan giving 3 pips and a +1 with his Ardent Defender. Right, so that should be 3 damage coming through. Okay, interesting. Only did 1 for some reason. But Alpha gonna move up and take another attack. Or not. He just takes damage. Not sure why. But I think the suppressive fire came into play, so I'm not sure that clone trooper should be weakened. We see the other Omega moving. And then a choreographed war coming into play to give someone a movement point. So... I guess Noah just moved up his figures and... Oh, it looks like he got some... Oh, he did the frag missile. And he did this. It gives the surge to blast 3. So he basically did 1 damage through the 4 pips. And then blasted 3 onto Obi-Wan and the other clone trooper. Looks like the clone trooper only took 2. Not sure why that is, but sure. That's a lot of damage. Obi-Wan's not looking good. Noah, that was a very smart decision. The destroyer missile can surge to pierce 3, right? And the frag missile can blast 3. If I were looking at this, though, I know that it's, you know, thematically, I think is the reason Jayjaxx made this 2 abilities. But I would just call this, like, you know, Missile Assault or Missile Launch, or just call it the Destroyer Missile. And I would say perform a ranged attack. When you declare the attack, you know, choose either Surge to Pierce 3 or Surge to Blast 3 for this attack. Right? You don't have to give them both, but I would just make it 1 ability, because it's the same thing. You're doing the same die. No reason to, like, double up on the card effects here, because... For one, I don't even know which ability is being used until I, like, reverse engineer which surge abilities they're applying. But that's fine. So we have Ahsoka moving up. It looks like she needs to take a strain. Yep, other guy there got stunned. Or weakened from the suppressive fire. And then Ahsoka, is she getting an attack off? Or is Noah getting to go with another one of his thousands of groups? I won't lie, with like 10 nameless trooper groups on the field, it's kind of hard for me to keep track of which is which, but I'm doing my best here. And looks like we have Alpha, which is a regular trooper group of the assault troopers, taking a shot at this clone trooper. We can pull up the clone troopers, though. So this guy should be weakened for this attack. They have 3 health, so this is a regular group. They're very squishy, which means this guy is down to his last leg, right? So if Alpha is probably doing the destroyer missile, the frag missile rather, which can blast 3. So if he gets 1 damage off here, he can do 3 to Obi-Wan and 3 to this guy. Maybe in this patch it was only 2 damage for blast. I don't know. Let's see. The elite trooper squads actually have an ability to reduce pierce. The regulars don't. In general, I don't recommend taking a lot of regular groups. No one's doing it for a specific reason, that these guys were just busted in week 1. But these guys, the trooper squad, seems pretty balanced. Closer to like what a group of stormtroopers is. For 1 less point, which I think is actually fine. If IACP did regular deployments, you know, we might consider making regular stormtroopers 5, and still no one would take them. Maybe. But they have squad training, only 3 health, so they're wet paper bags, which is fine. Not for Palintiri in this case. But if this gets any damage through, and it looks like it will, because it's a 3-die attack into a weakened black defense die with +1 in the reroll, even with that it's not going to be enough. Obi-Wan's probably taken the blast 3. So that's going to hit range. Yeah, -1 lead, and then a black, and then Ardent should give +1, right? But it looks like TVBoy is getting a surge for blast 2. Like, no matter what, I think Obi-Wan's dying. We're seeing the victory points tally up real quick. Okay, 16 victory points for TVBoy. I think that means that Obi-Wan and both of these troopers die. Again, both had 1 health of the troopers, and Obi-Wan was down to 2 health. And it looks like Palintiri might have tried to play second chance there to save Obi-Wan. Maybe misunderstanding exactly how that card works. You have to play that at the start of the round, so we'll just move on from that. And then Alpha, the second Alpha, moving up to open, or get next to this door and be ready to open it and to control the terminal. Okay, we have the Jet Troopers finally moving, both up to the cache to contest it. And let's see, we have any other attacks happening. I think we just saw Beta get tapped. So where's Beta? He's at the top of the map. Okay, he's going to move all the way down there. Don't think they're getting attacks this round. And then a choreographed war getting untapped. I think it got put into the middle of the map because both... can I move this to the back? We can just move it down. Perfect. So yeah, a choreographed war. We'll put it over here. So again, this allows you to tap it to get a movement point on any one of your activations during any figure's activation. And then while exhausted, an opponent may ready this card during a figure's activation to give that figure 1 movement point. Okay, so you can give someone a movement point during their activation, and we'll just kind of leave it where they had it. Maybe up here in the deployment zone, where no one's going to be playing for the rest of the game. Okay, heading into round 2. They're going to ready up, draw a couple command cards each. So at this point, Palintiri is definitely behind on victory points and army threatening, but he does have the command card advantage. We see Noah scoring some victory points for the objectives. Looks like he's controlling 2 of the caches in the middle of the map, into the bottom left. He also has Gamma over on the right cache, but the buddies below, the jetpack troopers, swooped in at the end of the round to contest it. So this is one of the threats of having so many troopers on the field with like a figure swarm kind of list, is that you can be all over the map and get all of the objectives if you want. You don't have to like get use out of every figure every turn. So these assault troopers were definitely insane. It looks like they did have the +1 in the first patch though. I'm looking at the little windows. So the elite, it looks like Noah might have missed a +1 damage. But LP1 perished either way. And the other assault troopers had a 3-die double action, which I think is now only a 2-die double action. Which makes sense. They're doing a lot. A 2-cost figure should not have done 10 into Obi-Wan, even with some command card help. Okay, so here we see Palintiri going to play Second Chance. Not sure who he chose to put it on. But it looks like we have Noah activating Beta, and it's going to do one of its big attacks, targeting Ahsoka. Okay, Ahsoka not rolling that dodge there. Gonna take 5 damage, and the second Beta going to also swing into Ahsoka. He's gonna roll 1 block, so it looks like she's taking 3. Yep, and Ahsoka has a white defense die, but no other defensive abilities, so she's just kind of out in the open. This might be where Palintiri wants to activate her. I wonder if that's who Second Chance is on. She's going to jump down here a couple spaces and take a shot at one of Noah's elites, which seems like a good idea. Okay, so she's going to power to this one. And she has a focus, so she should be adding an extra die. Looks like they're looking at what the assault trooper does. It's got 5 health and black die. So yeah, they're just like, okay, it's dead. Palintiri might have forgotten to roll the extra die for focus. But it looks like he did get off a surge to recover 2. From where he was, it looks like if he had another focus, he could have recovered 2 more with Padme's surge ability, right? Because we just saw Ahsoka over here making an attack. That's 3 away from Padme. So Padme, with her Exemplar, could have given Ahsoka an extra recover 2 with an extra surge. Again, 1 surge got evaded. It did 4 damage. I think she still had 2 surges. She didn't even need to surge to +2. But she should have rolled an extra die for focus, so she could have recovered 2 more. That's a little missed opportunity there. And then he's dropping the focus. Okay, so Noah gonna go with Sigma. We're gonna have this first one here. Yep, open the door. And looks like taking just the 1 green die attack on who is that over here in the corner? On Master Yoda. And I think Yoda's been completely reworked, so this isn't a good example of what he was then. But this is what he looks like right now. So yeah, a single green die. I think they get a +1. Oh, but he's probably going to use Suppressive Fire on this attack. Like, that's probably the point of the attack, right? So Yoda's somehow taking 1. It looks like. Not sure why. Yeah, but the Suppressive Fire, the other Sigma moved down 1 and is going to take a shot from behind this wall into Yoda. Alright, makes sense. Okay, yep, 3-die attack, Yoda rolling. So Yoda had 2 white defense die, which is why I'm saying it looks like he was completely reworked from that version to this version. In fact, again, if you look in Palintiri's window at the top left of the map, you can actually see the little version of his card. Ah, there we go. So if you compare that to my zoom-in window on the right side, looks like he still costed 7. He gets movement points after he attacks. He can reroll a defense die. And he had 2 white defense die. And it looks like he could... He still had Wise Counsel, which I think he did round 1. I'm not sure how... I think it was Ahsoka. Maybe she Padawan Learnered that round. Not sure how she got the movement points. Yeah, actually, she probably did Padawan Learner and then moved next to Yoda. But Ahsoka, did she die? No, she's over here. She's in the corner. Noah's just taking his time with her now. Okay, so Yoda going to take 4 rerolls, and he rerolls into the dodge. Right. So I wonder if that has something to do with why he was reworked into an Assault Master that does more damage. And then Noah here playing a command card. Change of plans. So he is going to exhaust one of his cards to enable another one. Oops. And I have a noisy cat over here. She wants to be part of the game. Yeah, so he's going to tap Omega, who only has 1 figure left, to re-enable the Sigmas to go another round. Another time this round, right? But I think that Suppressifier should be tapped. I think they used it to hit Yoda. To get that movement point. Or no, they didn't use Suppressifier. Sigma, the top Sigma just had to use his free movement point at the start of the turn to get that attack off. Okay. So, change of plans. Go into the discard. And then Ahsoka activating for Palintiri. No, Yoda activating. Okay. And again, Yoda didn't have Assault yet. We're looking at the Yoda version that is up on Palintiri's side of the screen. And for some reason, Vassal has this version of the ping, the PNG, so that works. Looks like he had more surges back then, too. He had a surge for Pierce 3, recover 2. They got rid of those? Maybe because he has 2 attacks now. I'm not sure why. I don't know why he doesn't search for +2 either, but okay. And it looks like he's going to attack into Sigma. Next we have an attack coming in. Versus 1 black. So that should be a 2, 3, 4. Pierce 3. And unfortunately not able to add +2. Like, that should be a 6 damage attack. Pierce 3 right there. Oh well. So Yoda taking out one of the Sigmas, gonna get some victory points. And then this old Yoda from the first week of the tournament. After you resolve an attack, each surge result gives you 1 movement point, even canceled surges, so he should get 2 movement points here. To run the heck away if that's what he wants to do. Looks like he's just going to stay right there. So Noah going to go with Sigma again. Shoot into Yoda. Full power. Probably doing the Pierce 3 attack. Not rolling any dodge. Not rolling any surges to pierce them. Yoda going to re-roll that into a block. So it looks like 3 damage to Yoda. Yep. Okay, so it looks like Yoda did have 0 damage before. Because he's only at 3 right now. Alright, Padme taking a swing up towards the middle of the map, and she's going to attack, looks like, into Afra. With a damage and a surge, she's probably just going to take an evade token. Yeah, not going to get anything else. She's going to go up to bolster up defenses, enable the jetpack troopers, and defend the cache with Ahsoka. Not the worst idea. She's also... In this position, Padme is hard to hit. Someone's going to have to come right here to get a shot on her, or they're going to have to go to this lower level. Because, you know, Noah's, or TVBoy's own beta is blocking line of sight to Padme. So that's pretty good positioning. Has beta gone yet? He has. Okay, so what do we have going Looks like Beta going and probably doing a big attack. Yep, 2 3 die onto Ahsoka. Ahsoka rolling nothing. Okay, I guess they're calling that a dead Ahsoka. Yeah, they moved the cache. That should have been, yeah. Yeah, Ahsoka only had 10 health. Okay, 10 health. So yeah, that did 4. At least Ahsoka rolled no defense. And yeah, that's a dead Ahsoka. So Palintiri up 30 to 10. This trooper swarm is insane. Again, it looks like it has been addressed. If you guys are wondering about the, I keep mentioning that the regular assault troopers have a bigger attack. I guess I can highlight the window, and we can compare with what they have now. So it looks like in the patch for week 2, which is again what we'll be using going forward for these guys, the regulars get a +1 to damage, but in general, they lost a 3rd die. And they get +2 accuracy and a surge for Pierce 2. Right, so their big destroyer missile and their big frag missile got, cut down just a little bit. Got rid of the blue die, lowered their overall accuracy, and got rid of some symbols, just turned it into a +1 pip. So, yeah, they were hitting ridiculously hard for a 2-die figure when they could get those attacks off. I actually thought it would be hard to get these double actions off, but it looks like Noah's doing them with no issue at all, right? He's making it look easy. And it seems like between Suppressifier, their innate movement point on the elites, help move this. And the fact is that killing them is easy. Killing the assault troopers is not a great feat, but it is not very rewarding, because Noah brought damn near 20 of them, right? 8, 9, 10, 11. He brought 12 of them. 12 attackers in a list that are doing 10 damage with command cards, but 10 damage into Obi-Wan. So that is kind of insane. And choreographed war, which is really good for this kind of list. Yeah, I won't lie. I was sleeping on the assault troopers until now. Let's take a look real quick to see if the elites have changed at all. So here's the current elite, and here is the elite that they played with. The order of the +1 innate damage and the +2 surge is switched, which I'm actually a big fan of. And it looks like that's the only change. But I like that. The innate stuff should be on the first boxes you see before the surge abilities. That's a much more intuitive, so good job on that tiny change. On that minor change, let's say. We call that a non-functional, clarification change. Okay, looks like someone is opening a door. Closing the door. Ending the turn. I think Noah Palintiri is going with jets, or the trooper squad. 2 blue dice. This is the trooper squad, and they're landing a 3 shot. Oh, red? Hold on. Who's getting shot at? This is an assault trooper. Is it doing the shooting? We'll see who takes damage. It's dead. Who rolls 2 blue and a red? Is it the jets? Am I missing a coordinated attack here? The jets rolled 2 blue. I'm not sure where the red came from. Those Palintiri ran coordinated attack right there. But it looks like they just accepted it. Okay, so that's a dead guy. Unless that was Palintiri going with his single assault trooper. Yeah, from that far down the map. Yeah, it hit 8 initiative. It hit 8 accuracy. +2 from the skirmish upgrade. The Republic skirmish upgrade, Born Soldiers, which again is giving them an extra +1 accuracy for each non-red die in the attack pool. So that's range 10. That's 1, 3, 5. Yeah, okay. So this guy was just attacking Noah's guy. That makes sense. Okay. I wish, with so many figures on the board, I wish they would use the... Which one are they? Right, that's the targeting reticle. Yeah, Control T. I wish they would use this more often because I'm not sure who's attacking right now. Okay, it looks like a clone sergeant is attacking. Yeah, so the clone sergeant rolling 2 blues into a jetpack trooper. So it looks like that's going to be 2 damage. Unless I'm missing something. That's 2. And then the second one... Or no, Beta is getting attacked by a jetpack trooper. And dying from a +1 surge. That's fine. Alright, Palintiri is starting to get back on the board. We have the second jetpack trooper taking a shot at a... Looks like a Delta. For 3 and a surge. They surge for a +1, so that's 4, -2, 2 damage. Yep, they have 3 health. That's another dead one. Palintiri on the board to 14. 16, because he just took out 2, and he'd taken out 1 previously. So trying to sweep up shot, but even like 3 kills is only, you know, 6 VPs, and he's been trying to work for those all game. So I can see, you know, how it's kind of overwhelming to have a list like this to go up against. Looks like Palintiri's out, and Noah still has a clone sergeant to go with. But Noah has lost 2 of his 4 elites. So that's something to note. And he still looks like has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular ones left. And we see command card getting played. A negation. What was getting played to get negated? Interesting. Okay. What were we seeing get played? So Noah negating something. And playing a... Oh, I think he discarded negation for strain to move. Now he's playing ready weapons, which will allow him to give a power token to each of his homies in his squad. Let's see if it's on the map anywhere. No. No, I don't think so. Yeah, a lot of cards all over the place right now. That's fine. Okay, I saw another command card. Do we see another command card come out? Okay, we have a lot of cards on the side over here. We're just going to clean that up. Don't want to be missing any command cards. Choreographed War we could just put down here. Okay, nothing. We're not missing anything. Just want to make sure. I think I zoomed in a little much. All right. Who do we have attacking? So this is one of the assault troopers attacks. I really slept on these assault troopers, and it looks like one of the jets is getting attacked. It's probably a dead jet. Yep. No, we're going for the Pierce. C running up and attacking the other jet. Yep, that's another dead jet. TVBoy at 34. I think Palintiri is down to, in a single assault trooper, Padme and Yoda. Let's see. And then just another one of his support units running up. Probably going to make an attack. Oh, going to block the terminal. Take a strain as damage, but stop Palintiri from drawing at the end of the round. Looks like he got another 4 for controlling the upper crate. Yoda contesting down here, and Padme contesting Noah over here. So again, Palintiri only able to draw 1, looks like, and then, yeah, Noah drawing 2. Initiative switching over to Palintiri. We have Noah playing reinforcements to drop in another Sigma at Sigma's location near Yoda. So Yoda going to be in a lot of trouble here. All right. And then what do we have going? Second chance gets discarded. It's probably on Yoda. Okay, so we have Sigma, it looks like. No, Palintiri has initiative, so this has to be Yoda attacking. Yoda doing a 2, 4, 5. 5 Pierce 3 to this clone sergeant, gonna take it out. Which means that the reinforcements was still worth it, because now there's still a Sigma left to attack Yoda. Right? Yoda gonna try and run away, though. Although, if Yoda doesn't defend the crate, then TVBoy wins at the end of the round. I get the instinct to run back and just, you know, reconcile your forces and try to make a comeback later. But first of all, you ran up right into the middle of Padme. Like, you're going to get shot down. But secondly, you know, that crate, that cache is unprotected. You kind of have to send your assault trooper over there now if you want to not lose the game at the end of the round. Okay. Who is activating? Alpha. Okay, so we have Alpha over here. Looks like a single Alpha taking a shot at Yoda. Probably a destroyer shot with a Pierce 3 built in mind. Okay, Yoda rerolling into nothing. So that's 2, 4, I think 5 damage. Did Yoda just die? Hold on. So Yoda had 9, which means that this attack did 6 damage. This 2-point figure, in this point in time, did blue, blue, red, right? 2, 4. He rolled 4. He surged for Pierce 2, which makes sense. And he surged for +2. Oh my god. I think that's the other big nerf this thing took. No, it still surges for +2. I really don't think it should do that. It shouldn't do that on a 2-point figure. Okay, especially when it can roll 3 die. But okay, maybe on the 2 die attack it makes more sense. Okay. Dead Yoda and TVBoy winning the match. Going up to 45? Yeah, because he's killing Yoda. That's worth 7 points. And then it looks like they're just getting ready to reveal their hands. So yeah, the game is over here. Yeah, we're at the end of the log file. Yeah, we can see everyone's hand except for Palintiri's, which, fine, that's fine. But yeah, that was an interesting match to watch. I definitely slept on the Assault Troopers. It was interesting trying out this OBS recording. I can always go in and, you know, cut parts out if I need to, like, stop a recording in the middle, which is nice. It's telling me I've been doing this for an hour, so okay. I did not want that to go as long, but oh well. It was definitely interesting seeing this much of a trooper swarm go on in IA in this day and age. But I guess that was the point of this, you know, this whole expansion. Throw in the troopers. All right, one of the things he wanted to do is have B1 droids all over the battlefield and like thousands of clones getting torn through, or at least give the feeling of that. Thousands of droids getting stomped. So hopefully we see some B1s in the future. I'll be here to report on some more of these Jayjaxx Clone Wars expansions. Head over to the IACP Discord. You'll see messages from Jayjaxx and the events going on if you want to take part here. I think that's the best way to find them. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I've been TheSecondFlock, and maybe next time we'll make the log review less than an hour long. Alright, have a great night. Stay frosty.